Some might call it a one-hit wonder. But for a few months in 1870, the Alida, the sidewheeler steamer in our main then photo, reigned on Puget Sound. Uncrowded Seattle, fewer than 20 years old, had barely topped 1,100 in population. Ambitious, rough-hewn residents focused on laying foundations for the future. In one of the earliest extant photos of the waterfront, snapped from the west end of Henry Yesler's wharf, a log boom from Yesler's mill seems dense enough almost to be walkable. Now, just above the Alida's sidewheel could be made out the dirt intersection of Marion Street and Front Street, now First Avenue. Center left, the steeple of Reverend Daniel Bagley's 5-year-old Methodist Protestant church, popularly called the Brown Church, points heavenward. Bagley was a prime mover behind the construction of the Territorial University, today's University of Washington, whose dome-shaped cupola graces the center horizon. Keen eyes will also make out at upper right the original bell-towered Central School, Seattle's first public schoolhouse nearing completion. The Alida, commissioned by the entrepreneurial Starr brothers, eager to obtain a federal subsidy to deliver mail between Olympia and Victoria, was constructed in 2 locations. Its 115-foot hull was laid in Olympia in 1869, while its upper decks, luxuriously appointed with a dozen comfortable staterooms, were installed the following June at Hammond's Boatyard near the foot of Columbia Street. Captain E.A. Starr, jockeying for influence, invited Seattle's It crowd for an inaugural voyage on June 29, 1870, and it seems likely that the prominent citizens are those seen assembled on the upper deck for a round-trip trial run to Port Townsend. By all accounts, the 4-hour, 8-minute trip delighted the passengers. Reported the July 4th Daily Intelligencer, during the passage down, the beautiful weather, the delightful scenery, the rapid and easy progress made, and last though not least, the excellent instrumental and vocal music which was furnished by the ladies, all contributed to the enjoyment of the occasion. Within weeks, however, the Alida, intended to supplant older, slower steamers, proved too unstable for the daunting passage across the Strait of Juan de Fuca. The Stars soon replaced it with the 168-foot North Pacific, a heavier, more powerful vessel that bested all comers. The Alida was consigned to calmer waters, steaming among Olympia, Seattle, and other Puget Sound ports until 1890, when the sidewheeler met a fiery end. Moored at Gig Harbor, the elegant flash in the pan burned to the waterline, set alight by embers from a raging brush fire. In our first then photo, the sidewheeler Alida is shown in 1870 from the north end of Yesler's wharf. Logs in the foreground were destined for Yesler's sawmill only blocks away. This photo is the second earliest extant portrait of Seattle's waterfront. In our second then photo, an early portrait of the Territorial University building, built in 1861 near the corner of 4th and University. The Ionic columns in its portico were made of cedar from Hood Canal and milled at Yesler's mill. In 1908, the structure was razed. Its columns were moved north to the University of Washington campus, where they stand today. In our third then photo, snapped by photographer George Moore, a west-facing view of the first Central School near 3rd and Madison, the first schoolhouse erected by the Seattle School District. The new school had 2 classrooms for 120 students. When it opened August 4th, 1870, it was standing room only. In our now photo, this view looks east along the recently opened Marion Street pedestrian overpass. The open water surrounding the Alida in our then photo has been filled in over much of the past century. Today's seawall stands nearly 500 feet west of the original shoreline.